If no one rides a mythosaur by the season finale, this show has failed. Hey everyone, Jeremy here. Welcome to the channel. I am so happy you joined me today to watch episode 3 of season 3 of The Mandalorian. Before I get into it though, please remember to hit that like and subscribe. It helps the channel out so very much each and every time you do, and I just appreciate it, so thank you. Alright, last week we saw something I wasn't expecting, and that was the mythosaur, which we all saw at the end. I do think that has to come into play again. Don't know how. Don't know that Din's going to just jump in the water and start riding it. I'd be very surprised. What's more important to me is Bo and Din's relationship. They are very much setting them up as, if not romantic partners, then just partners in general, like partners in Creed almost. So I am very, very happy with the direction this looks like it's pointed. I don't know. Let's no more preamble. Let's just get into this. I love the show. I can't wait any longer. Oh, we're right here again. Okay. Picking up right there.
Did you see anything alive?
Alive? Like what?
Nothing.
Oh, are you gonna try to ride a mythosaur? Or do you just not believe that you actually saw it?
This is the way.
We took a hit.
Oh my god, so there are Imperials in the sector? What is...
Where'd they come from?
I've scoped off a lot of Imperial warlords.
Interceptors are a lot tougher than TIE fighters.
Oh. Nice, nice. Oh, that's gotta hurt. This is so freaking cool.
Don't worry.
Oh my god. Oh. Well, I did not know they could do that. Okay. They're bombing her palace.
Bo, we've got company.
Do it. They're
Bo,
drawing her
listen to
in.
me.
Oh, Coruscant, baby. New Republic Coruscant. We have never seen New Republic Coruscant.
Here tonight. The amnesty program saved my life. There are many of us who have
Pershing.
no choice in working for the Empire. My research was twisted into something cruel and inhumane at the behest of a desperate individual intent on using cloning technology to...
So she turned her back
When
on the
I
Empire?
was young, thanks to the groundbreaking work of the Kaminoans, we know that cloning can duplicate an individual from a single genetic strand.
Oh, my apologies. Empire, Rebels, New Republic, I can't keep track. That's why I should just keep my mouth shut.
We try not to get involved.
Well, I think you deserve the very best.
Okay, that guy was the worst of the worst. He's worse than Empire.
G68.
Doctor.
Everything all right? Gideon. I didn't know you worked for him.
I heard he escaped en route to the War Tribunal.
No, that was just the cover story.
What?
I heard they hooked him up to a mind flayer. Long live the New Republic.
I just don't trust her. They aren't I'm astounded they aren't utilizing this guy. Why? Why would you sit on this man and not use him? I don't know what that is, but I want one. I want glowing food.
There are lots of capable people who want to help. You understand what I'm saying?
What is that?
Man.
That is the peak of Umaid, highest mountain on Coruscant.
Oh my God, that's the peak of a mountain. They're that high up.
You want to touch it? Look on your face was priceless.
Okay, I think I know who she's working for. I know who sent those TIE fighters. Oh my God. Is he gonna appear in this season? Is Thrawn coming?
According to your file, your previous research involved cloning and genetic engineering. That class of research is expressly prohibited by the Coruscant Accords. Have a nice day.
Okay, even if he can't legally do it, why wouldn't the New Republic utilize this guy? He's still gonna be brilliant.
We can get you a mobile lab station. But it would require going outside our designated perimeter. Look. I've done a lot of things I'm ashamed of.
They just wanted to
take that risk.
He's being manipulated.
I just think I could be helpful if I could.
It would require authorization from the department. You could submit a C-1023 request, but I've never seen someone from the amnesty program make one of those. I'd have to check if that's even possible.
He's watching them discard so much technology just because the Imperials used it.
Our main objective is to help the Republic, right?
Correct.
And that supersedes everything else?
It does. Have a nice day.
Oh, the system is failing him. The system is failing him.
The mobile lab station? Let's go get it.
Good.
What was... There was some hesitation there. I've never seen those in live action.
It's gonna be fine.
The police droids. Seen those 100 times in the Clone Wars.
Thongs days, am I right?
Did she just say Mondays, basically?
Where do you think I got the biscuits?
Yeah, that's... She is totally using him.
Tongs days, am I right?
We'll work on that.
Oh, just an entire Star Destroyer sitting here.
I must have passed you on Gideon's ship 100 times. Elia Kane, communications officer.
Dr. Penn Pershing.
That's fascinating. They weren't even permitted to fraternize back then.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
I didn't really have a chance to think about it.
Oh. She was conscripted as a kid. What is that? Are they scrapping the ship or something?
Oh.
Stop!
Son of a... What? What? What?
Just wait. Wait, this is a mind flayer.
This is a 602 mitigator. It's a non-invasive experimental treatment recently approved for rehabilitation.
No, it's a mind flayer.
It's a similar device. This will only take a moment. I'll be here when you wake up.
You don't understand. She brought me there.
What is her endgame? Why did she do it?
Shall we?
Do you mind if I stay? He relapsed, but he's a friend.
Yeah, she's a double agent. Okay. Or triple, I guess, in this case. She's wiping his mind.
It will go smoother if you keep your helmet on. Trust me.
Of course.
She hasn't taken her helmet off since she bathed in the waters. Just want to point that out. This should be interesting. A Vizsla and Bo.
I was witness.
And who are you, Night Owl?
He fell into the depths and I pulled him out.
So you've both bathed.
By creed, you too are redeemed.
I knew it.
But I do not walk the way. You may leave anytime you wish. Until then, you are one of us. Welcome, Bo-Katan of Clan Kreese.
I have very mixed feelings. Okay, it would be very easy to say that, oh, this wasn't a very eventful episode except for the opening. Oh, no. That had me riveted pretty much the entire time because of what was going on with Pershing. This laid the foundation for a lot of things to come. Even the opening, which was tremendous. In that opening, Bo actually says, or actually might have been dead. One of them actually says, this is too many TIE fighters for just a typical warlord. Who is out there that probably isn't just a warlord? Who is probably going to be the main villain of Ahsoka? Say it with me, Thrawn. Thrawn is after her. Thrawn is behind so much of what's happening. But, I'm going to throw a counter argument to my own argument right now, though. What happened to Gideon? I'll get to that in a second. But I do think the things they are setting up in this episode is leading to Thrawn. I think that we're going to at least end this season with his reveal at this point, because there was too much setup here not to be setting up a new big bad. And the new big bad we are aware of that is coming is Thrawn. He was seeded last season, and now this season we're talking about basically somebody even bigger than a warlord, which I always put Gideon in that category. On the other hand, someone who's been consolidating his power and, you know, building up his forces in the Outer Rim for a very long time, ever since the Empire fell, and possibly before. That guy with the very scary red eyes, I could see him being a legitimate threat and something beyond a warlord. And I've got to say, they really had me guessing this episode because I was wavering on what was actually going on, and they really tricked me by the end because I knew there was something up with the comms officer. I can't think of her name right now. Katie O'Brien's the actress. I know her name. I just don't know the character's name. They really had me guessing on what was happening with her because I knew she was manipulating him. That there was no doubt in my mind she was manipulating him, but I didn't know to what end. It looked like the whole time that maybe, to me, oh, she wants him to continue his research because they're going to take it from him and she can take it back to Thrawn, or if it is Gideon, back to Gideon. However, I did not expect a triple agent turn. Instead, she dressed it all up. She knew this guy was still a threat, that he could actually do some damage to Gideon or Thrawn, the Empire. The existing Empire could be threatened by this man's research. So what did she do? She tested him. She tested him to find out how far he would go. he would not give up his research. He did not want to let it go. So she just kept pushing him. If he had given up his research, she'd have probably been fine with that. Because then, okay, he has no desire in continuing that research for the Republic. He's not going to give it to anybody. We're good. I mean, eventually they might have to kill him just in case he changes his mind. She was already tasked by the New Republic as, I guess, this double agent sort of situation where she is testing the other converts, we'll call them, title drop, to make sure they aren't slipping back into Imperial ways. We're going to talk about their re-education here in a minute too. So when someone does slip up, when they do actually start going back to their Imperial roots, she turns them in. She is the one who turns them in. And it's killing me because she's a triple agent. It's such a perfect cover for her. It is such a perfect cover because in this situation, she got the best of both worlds. Yes, he broke the law, which meant he went back to the Republic. But it also meant that she found out for certain he was not going to give up that research. So she got everything she needed for her cover and for her actual mission. She got to erase his mind. She turned him to putty at the end because that's what the Empire wanted. Meanwhile, the Republic just wanted him re-educated. Which, by the way, let's talk about that re-education for a second because it sounds terrifying by the way everyone was talking about it. Nobody wanted to go back to a re-education center. I want to believe that's just because it's really boring, but it sounds pretty intense to me. Now we have to keep in mind the mind flayer, as he kept calling it at the end, which I guess it was a repurposed mind flayer, but they had adjusted it to low settings. That device wasn't meant to torture. It has that, I believe that doctor completely and fully when he said, oh no, it is actually just really pleasant now. We set it on like a 1 and it gives you nice images. It soothes your mind. You know, it's almost like, honestly, it's almost like medication. I have anxiety and I take medication for it. And I assume it's something along those lines. It's targeting certain things in your brain to calm them, to soothe them, and hopefully it will help you adjust to your new life. I believe them. I really believe them in that sense. However, it is terrifying for someone who knows what a mind flayer is to be put into one and told, no, it's fine. No, he knows what a mind flayer is. So they might want to work on that a little bit. Maybe get people adjusted to the idea that it's not a mind flayer before they get put into the mind flayer. And bad on the doctor for not having a governor installed that meant you could not turn that dial up past a certain point, because that is why he died, because it is still a mind flayer. And if you turn it all the way up, it does what a mind flayer does. But that did really illustrate the failings of the New Republic and this system they have created for Imperial remnants. Obviously, their heart's in the right place. They even discussed it in the episode. If this was the Empire converting rebels, there'd be no conversion. So the Republic is actually trying to reintegrate these people into society to allow them to work off their, basically, their sentence. Because most of these people should be in prison. But at the same time, most of them are also indoctrinated. Most of them were born into it. Some of them had no other choice. They were conscripted. Maybe they were born on an imperial world. Whatever it is, a lot of people did not have a real choice in the matter. So in the case of the Republic trying to rehabilitate, heart's in the right place in my mind. The execution, however, is a lot more difficult because when you have someone like Pershing, who is incredibly intelligent, and you're just having him basically erase and store data disks, that is a waste of his talents. Honestly, the system's going to push them back towards Imperial thinking. It's going to push them into wanting to rebel against this new government that is wasting their talents. And I don't blame him for wanting to pursue his research. I actually do a little. I mean, his research, it is illegal. It is banned for a reason. However, had the Republic come to him and said, you know what, you can't do that research, but you have a lot of knowledge in this other area. He's probably got a ton of medical knowledge. Put him to work on helping people with working in a hospital, working in some sort of other research for you know, medical supplies or medicine, something along those lines, instead of actually just putting him on a desk job where he is just deleting information. That is a terrible waste of talent. And I get it. I get it. The Republic is probably overwhelmed with the number of people they have, so they don't necessarily get to grab each and every one and go, oh, he would be best served over here, and this one would be best served over here. But they really should be trying to do that better, because even the setup of the parole officer was terrible, because the parole officer was asking these generic questions. They did not really engage with the convert here. They didn't engage with Pershing, and it just felt like a failing system over and over and over throughout the episode. And I will say, I love the idea that a lot of people just accepted that, oh no, these are ex-Imperials. We didn't see anybody treat them with true disdain. That nobody really was like, oh, those monsters. Now the Republic's been pretty accepting of them. Yeah, they have to live in their own housing. Yeah, they have to do this and that because they're essentially on parole, or probation, I should say. It tells you how opposite the Republic is from the Empire, because again, the Empire would not treat them that way. They would not give them housing. They would not give them new jobs. They would just execute them or put them in or labor camps. You're going to an Andor labor camp or you're dead. Those would probably be the two options, unless they needed your information for some reason. Then you'd get to go to a nice and awful prison. And you also know the system is failing because that comms officer is obviously a triple agent, and she got through the program even though she's been through re-education. Oh, and now we have to talk about Bo and her helmet. I noticed at the beginning she hadn't taken it off yet. She was flying around and stuff like that. And I was like, all right. Maybe it's just because she's still, you know, she's in combat, she's been flying, things like that. You don't necessarily remove your helmet right away. But then when we cut back and we knew they were going to the culvert, that's when I was sitting there going, okay, no, that was intentional. That was intentional. I almost said something even during the reaction, but I was like, nah, I want to wait and see. But once they went to the culvert, I was like, oh no, they are going for this. She's bathed in the living waters too. They are going for, she has been redeemed in the culvert's eyes, in the Watch's eyes, as well as dead. I don't know what to think about this. I'm not a fan of the Watch. I'm not at all. And to think they are setting them up to be the new rulers of Mandalore, to be the way, I have real issue with that. I don't like zealots, and these people are zealots. A father should be able to look his son in the eyes and not get cast out. A husband should be able to look at a wife, a partner, and a partner. It should not matter that you take your helmet off and want to see them with your own eyes. Vader. So there are things about their religion that I am just not a fan of. And to think that Bo's getting drawn into it, which is, I think, where we're going. I think that she is getting drawn into the religion, and she's going to become a convert herself. That's the title of the episode. The title of the episode wasn't just about Pershing. It wasn't about the comms officer. It was also about Bo. And now we're going to see her converted to the Watch. She might change her mind. They did give her the option to leave anytime she wants. I'm just a little afraid that the Watch is now going to become the main power over Mandalore. Like that is now the true Mandalorian religion, and everyone must adhere to it. No one can take their helmets off anymore, so on and so forth. I think it's a weird choice in this series if that's the direction they're going. But we'll see. Things could still change. Bo could still actually leave. She could actually decide, no, this isn't right. We could actually, next week, who knows, we could actually find out that, you know, there are things inside their religion that are truly terrible, and Bo leaves, and it makes Din question even being there again, so on and so forth. I feel like then they wouldn't have had him bathe and come back, because, yeah, I don't know. Narratively, I don't know how that would work. I just really see a trajectory where the Watch is now the main Mandalorian religion, and I'm not a fan. But I'll tell you what I love about this episode. It has me thinking. It has me thinking, it has me guessing, it has me grasping at different threads, because there are so many different things they laid out here, so many different pieces of the world we weren't familiar with, or directions that we're now facing, that I am not truly sure where we are going next. I have ideas. I think Thrawn might be coming. Gideon, by the way, I didn't address that. Gideon, oh, he got put into a mind flayer. Oh no, they say he died in trying to escape or something like that. Okay, it happened off screen. He's not dead. There's no way he's dead. There's no dying off screen. No. He's still around. Where he is, that's a big question mark. I don't think he's the one leading the Imperials that were after Bo. I do think that is actually Thrawn. I think Gideon was answering to Thrawn, and we just didn't know it. But it is possible that Thrawn orchestrated Gideon's escape, and he is out there now. It is very possible. Or he's rotting in an Imperial Republic cell somewhere. But we got a name drop and a supposed off-screen death. So he's still out there. But like I said, so many different directions and different threads they have now dangled in front of us. Oh, and and Bo not telling Din she saw a mythosaur. Now, part of me thinks maybe she doesn't believe it herself. No. Trick of the light. I didn't really see that, right? But part of me is also going, she didn't say anything on purpose, because that's a big deal, and she wants to keep it to herself. I don't know. But again, another thread to pull on and follow. I loved this episode. I know a lot of people are going to be going, I didn't have much action in it. It was kind of boring there in the middle part. I loved this episode. I loved getting all that lore. I loved seeing Coruscant. I loved seeing Coruscant post-Empire. And it was just a fantastic episode, in my opinion. Such a good world-building episode. Ooh, so good. All right. What are your thoughts? Leave them in the comments below. Do you think Bo is going to become a part of the Watch, and that is the direction we're headed for the rest of the season? Do you think it's Thrawn that's the big bad, or do you think it's Gideon? What do you really think goes on at Republic Re-Education Centers? Eek. Whatever your thoughts, leave it in the comments below. Like I mentioned at the beginning, please remember to hit that like and subscribe. And as always, please take care of yourselves. And please take care of each other. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.